Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a March monthly energy reading for all of my Scorpios out in the collective. For those of you that are new, welcome to Eileen into Spirit. My name is Eileen. I'm a spiritual advisor and intuitive coach. I provide you with guidance and wisdom and inspiration every week right here on this channel. We truly appreciate every single one of you, and all we can do is ask that you please subscribe. Give us a like, as it truly does help our content. Comment down below if you desire, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I release new content. Let's get into your message, Scorpio. All right, all my amazing Scorpios out there, this is going to be your March monthly message. As you know, I've already pre-shuffled the cards, so I actually take jumpers from the pack. I don't like to choose my own cards. Also note that this is going to be a general message, so it will not resonate with every single Scorpio out there. I ask that you take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. We're going to go ahead and start off with an oracle card, as this is going to give me the energy of where you start off this month as we go along. So let's get started. Angels, archangels, guides, ascended masters, where are my Scorpios this month? What type of energy are they in this month of March? What information and insight can you provide me for all of my Scorpios this month? What information and insight can you provide me for all of my Scorpios this month? Do we want more? Yes, okay. Thank you. All right. Beautiful. Okay, Scorpios, let's do this. First up, we have the Dragon's Duel, okay? This talks about inner conflict, talks about morality and conscious choice. Okay. One of the other signs had this card, but I'm picking up a very different vibe here for you, Scorpio. So what I'm getting with this is that this is really about you having that inner conflict with yourself and with others. Okay. I really feel that this is about you and others. Okay. So what I want to point out is that I feel that Scorpios a lot of times tend to, and I'm just going to say this, a lot of times Scorpios tend to take things really personally. And I feel that you often do this as, well, this is who I am, and they're just that way. And you always feel that everything is about you, or that you've done something wrong. And I want to point out that this is really an internal conflict that you have going on inside your mind, okay? I say that because the next card you got was the Arrow Master, okay? Which is about hitting the mark, intention, and detachment. So what both of these are really saying here is that that internal dialogue that you have going on in your mind whenever someone says something to you, or you feel that someone feels a certain way about you, or you feel that someone is treating you a certain specific way, that internal dialogue that you have going on in yourself is really you're really having to pay very close attention to that, because you need to come into your awareness with this Arrow Master of really paying very close attention. When you have that internal dialogue going on, what is the intention that sets forth with that? Is that the intention that you're wanting to desire? Right? Is that intention going to hit the mark of what you're trying to achieve? Recognize where you need to sort of detach yourself, right? Is it leading you towards your true north? I think that's the important thing here. Is that internal dialogue, that internal conflict that you have going on, is that really aligning you to your true north? Or is it something that you need to detach from? Okay. So I want to point out that the Dragon's Duel is a 23, which is a 5, which is about change. Okay. And the Arrow Master is a 10, which is about a 1. So it's about a new beginning. You really need to set forth new intentions on learning to detach from the things that do not align with your true north, and recognize that the intentions that you do set for yourself must be in alignment. It must hit the mark on the dot of where you are trying to go and what you're trying to achieve. All right, so let's go ahead and dig right into the tarot here, Scorpio. Let's see what additional information they can provide us with this Dragon's Duel and the Arrow Master. Angels, archangels, guides, ascendant masters, what additional information and insight do you have for my Scorpios out in the collective this month? What additional information and insight do you have for all of my Scorpios out in the collective this month? You know, I also want to point out here that with this Arrow Master, if you're really trying to manifest something here, Scorpio, be very clear of your thoughts, right? Really recognize, do your thoughts, do the emotions that you have with those thoughts line up perfectly? Or are they conflicts, right? Also be very weary of the choices that you're making. Really pay very close attention to that, okay? Because remember, the things that we think and that we set forth a lot of emotion and intention to, we create. We don't realize that we create things all the time. It is based off of our thoughts and the emotions attached with those thoughts. We create those all of the time. So really allow yourself to really make sure that you are hitting the mark exactly on what it is you're desiring. And if you're unsure, then maybe that's where you have to have that inner conversation with your higher self to say, am I truly in alignment with what I am desiring? Do they match, right? Because if they don't match, then that's where you really need to detach. You need to detach from, or figure out what it is that's making you, what is it that's making you feel that way, right? Especially when it comes to others, okay? Or really ask yourself those deep questions. Why are you feeling that way? What is it about that's making you feel that way? Okay? That's important here. All right, we need 3 more cards, Spirit, please. 3 more cards. Thank you. Okay, 2 more, please. I have a new deck here for you, Scorpio. I'm really excited about this deck. I've personally been using it myself for a while before I decided to, I like to always familiarize myself with each deck that I use. Thank you. Okay, 1 more, please, Spirit. 1 more for my Scorpios. Okay, you decided you wanted 2. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, my amazing Scorpios, let's go ahead and get right into this message. This is going to be a powerful one. I can already tell. All right, so we are starting out now. Remember, this is a 9-card draw. So the first card truly represents where you are this beginning of the month. And as I go through the cards, it then leads us towards your outcome of the end of the month, okay? So this is kind of giving you an idea of where you are in your spiritual growth and your spiritual awareness. So we're starting out with the High Priestess, okay? This High Priestess really speaks about the seen and the unseen, okay? It's about being in tune with your own intuition. What I'm really picking up here is that a lot of you Scorpios are really afraid of what you cannot see. So you're afraid of the unknown, okay? Which is why I feel you have this Dragon's Duel, because you have that inner dialogue, that inner conflict, right? And you know what the right choice is. You know which direction you're supposed to go, right? Because this High Priestess is holding the star. The star is really about your true destiny. It's about your true north. It's about really hitting the mark with where you're trying to go and who you're trying to become. And I really feel that this High Priestess is really calling you to trust. Trust the process. Trust the steps that it takes to get you to where you want to go. Trust that everyone has good intentions. Trust that when you feel triggered by certain individuals, It's not always about you, okay? Trust that you are being shown exactly who people are so that you could then utilize your sword of truth to align with your true north, okay? Trust that sometimes you have to make conscious choices of letting certain things, situations, events, and individuals go so that you could align with that which is for your highest good, okay? This high priestess is really showing you that which you already know, and is also going to be putting in front of you the things that you didn't know, right? That's part of the seen and the unseen, okay? It's also going to show you the light and the dark aspects of yourself, the parts of yourself, the parts that you probably didn't even know existed within your mentality, right? The parts of you that you didn't even realize you had issues with until all of a sudden you got triggered by someone and you're like, what? Like, where did this come from, right? It's going to really show you the areas of your life that you need to come into alignment with, that you need to create harmony and balance with internally, okay? So we move on to the Three of Cups. And I love this because the Three of Cups is really about a celebration. It is about coming together with individuals that are more like you, right? So you aligning with your soul tribe, your soul family, celebrating with them, recognizing that they bring you hope, they bring you inspiration, they bring you growth, they complete your evolutionary growth into your new spiritual awakening, okay? It's also about recognizing that everything must always come full circle. Recognizing that there are phases in your life where people come and people go. Don't try to continuously stay in one phase. Recognize that when that phase has come to an end, it is time for you to move on to a different phase, okay? I say that because your next card up is the Two of Swords, okay? Which is about a crossroads. It's really about you being so unsure of what the next step is or who to trust or where to go. And I feel like this is also an inner conflict within yourself. You, because I want to point out how this is the light and then this is the dark, right? So I really feel that this is about an inner conflict within yourself where you sort of feel like, maybe I am maybe I am the one at fault, or maybe I am the reason, or maybe you constantly sort of put the blame on yourself, and that's not really what you need to do here. You need to see things from a very clear perspective, intuitively, okay? Trust your own inner guidance and allow your inner guidance to lead you in the direction that you need to go, okay? Because this Two of Swords is really saying, if you can learn to trust the inner guidance that you're receiving, you will know exactly where you need to go and what direction you need to go. You'll know exactly who you need to cut out and who you need to, who you need to stick around with, okay? After the Two of Swords, we have the Six of Pentacles, okay? And this is about a balance of giving and receiving. It's about a balance of abundance. It's about recognizing your worth and your value. It's about seeing yourself in a greater light and in a greater perspective. And it's also about you giving to yourself, because I really feel that sometimes you don't give to yourself as equally as you would give to others, okay? I really feel that a lot of this message is about you honoring yourself with this Six of Pentacles. It's about you recognizing that you deserve just as much as you give to others, okay? Now, the heart of your reading is the Hanged One with the Ten of Wands, okay? So what these two cards are really telling me is that you need to start telling a different story. That inner dialogue in your mind is what is really keeping you stuck in your growth, okay? The inner dialogue that you constantly have. This 10 of Wands is about burdens, okay? This 10 of Wands is about all of these burdens that you're carrying on yourself. You're allowing every single one of these burdens to create your reality and your story. You continuously say things about who you are, not realizing that you're creating that reality as you speak them into existence. What this 10 of Wands is really asking you to do is let them go. Walk away from these burdens. Allow yourself to give them away. Walk away from them. Tell yourself a new story, because the Hanged One is really talking about a different perspective. If you can flip the script on your story, really start telling yourself a different story, start speaking to yourself, allow yourself to have that inner dialogue in your head about your life being the way that you actually want it, instead of talking about the way that your life is, you're going to see a significant flip. The Hanged One is really about getting a very different perspective. The Hanged One puts himself in that position because he wants a different view. The Hanged Man really wants a different perspective and a different way of doing things, right? So this really clearly tells me that with the 10 of Wands, you have always done things a certain way. But Spirit is really asking you, maybe what you need to do is look at it from this perspective. Do this in a different way, and you might be surprised with the results that you actually get. I really feel that this is really about you learning to have a very different conversation with yourself, with your higher self, learning to honor your higher self, learning to honor yourself, learning to speak to yourself in a way that is loving and giving and receiving to oneself, okay? Now, we're now moving into the steps and the advice that Spirit wants to give you to help move you along your journey, okay? And first one is the 9 of Wands, okay? The 9 of Wands is often referred to as the wounded soldier, okay? Look at his face. I want you to pay very close attention to his face. See how he looks hurt. He looks wounded. He's tired. He's exhausted. How tired and exhausted are you with the constant conflict, internal dialogue that you have with yourself? I want you to see that there are two wolves here, right? You have a white wolf and a black wolf, okay? This is about divine feminine, divine masculine. It's also about light and it's about dark. It's about your shadow aspect and your white aspect, right? Why are you fighting yourself? You are constantly fighting yourself with this 9 of Wands. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're allowing your emotions to take control, and you're not allowing yourself to be set free. This 9 of Wands, now notice you have the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands, okay? This 9 of Wands is really asking you to really ask yourself, is this really where I want to be? Do I really want to continue fighting myself? Because this is really a battle between yourself. I don't really see this as you battling anyone. You're battling yourself. You're battling that inner dialogue you have with yourself about who you are, who you were, and who you want to become. Let me say that again. You are battling that inner dialogue, that inner you that is trying to decipher who you were, who you are, and who you want to become. And in order for you to transition, okay, because I'm going to tell you right now, your outcome card is the Magician. If you are truly trying to change your life, you must start with the thoughts, the perceptions, the ideas, and the beliefs that you have with yourself, Scorpio. This 9 of Wands is really calling you to let go. Stop fighting yourself. Let go, okay? We then move on to the Ace of Cups. Now, this Ace of Cups is a new beginning. When you can let go of fighting yourself, Spirit is going to gift you with this Ace of Cups. And this Ace of Cups is a new enlightenment of self-love. This is you filling your own cup. You giving yourself the encouragement, giving yourself the love and the nurturing that you need, right? It's going to give you peace, okay? when you can do that, when you can recognize that by you releasing those burdens and allowing yourself to see things from a very different perspective, really paying very close attention to how you speak to yourself and the things that you say, you're going to recognize that your cup is going to get so full because you're going to start feeling that love and that abundance, and it's just going to constantly flow to you because you're going to be giving that to yourself. This is about you learning to love yourself and honor yourself where you are in the moment that you're in it. Okay. Right after this Ace of Cups, we have the Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands really speaks about inspiration, okay? But it also speaks about that desire, and it speaks about you trusting that Spirit is going to provide you with what it is you're needing. It's also about you having that faith, believing in yourself. This is really a recognition, okay? That when you start filling your own cup, all of that passion, that desire is going to start filling you up, and you're going to start getting excited, and it's almost like lighting the fire underneath you, and you're going to be so excited that you're going to want to create more and more and more because you're trusting. You're starting to see the results that when you can start loving yourself inwardly and start really changing the dialogue that you have with yourself, you will start to see amazing results. We now transition into your outcome, which is 2 cards, okay? And remember I said you have the Magician, but you first start out with the 7 of Wands, okay? What this 7 of Wands really speaks about is you standing your ground, owning your light, owning who you are, recognizing that you have your own power and your own control. No one is stealing that from you. You have it. You have it within your grasp. You are setting yourself apart from others. You are claiming what is yours, and you are claiming your light, and you are going to allow yourself to be seen, to be heard, and you're going to roar. This is what is so important, is that by you truly stop fighting, by you letting go of those burdens and stop fighting yourself and really allowing yourself to see things from a very different perspective, you're going to start seeing how new relationships start flooding to you. You're going to start seeing new results. You're automatically going to start feeling a lot more successful. You're going to be more passionate. You're going to have all of these desires, and you're going to start seeing yourself in a very different way with this 7 of Wands. And along with this 7 of Wands, you have the Magician here, right? The Magician is really about manifesting. The Magician is really about recognizing that as above, so below, so within, right? That not only can you dream everything from above in the heavenly realms, but you can also create all of those dreams within yourself, which then become a reality in your physical. So it's really about you allowing yourself to delve deep into the unknown and allowing yourself to embody that aspect, right? Allowing yourself to truly detach from the things that no longer serve you so that you can then create a new reality with this Magician. All right, so that's what the Tarot has for you, Scorpio. I do want to draw some additional oracle cards to see what additional advice and information Spirit has for you. Angels, archangels, guides, ascended masters, what additional information and insight do you have for all of my Scorpios out in the collective? What additional information and insight can you provide with this message for all of the Scorpios out in the collective this month? What additional insight and information do you have for the Scorpios this month? What additional information can you add to this beautiful message? Thank you. All right, we got 2 cards here, Scorpio. I love it. Okay, first one up, we have building blocks. I absolutely love this, okay? Because what this really talks about is that, number one, it's a 28, right? which resonates at a 10, which is a 1. So it's about new beginnings, right? So I want to point out how this woman, right? She is building a solid foundation for herself, okay? She is completely and utterly in alignment with her true north. She understands and knows that all she needs to do is be in her true north, be in her alignment, love herself unconditionally, and ask for what she is needing, and spirit provides, right? And as she continues to be in that element, she builds a solid foundation for herself. Recognize that the internal dialogue that you have with yourself does build a foundation for who you believe yourself to be. That's very important. And what this building blocks is really saying is that when you can come into alignment with that better version of yourself, you start creating different blocks for yourself. You start building a different foundation, piece by piece. You can't just take one giant bite out of the elephant. You have to do it piece by piece. And that's what this building blocks is about. You now also have breathe. And I absolutely love this because this is really about you taking that step back, taking that moment to just be and allow yourself to breathe and to listen and be present. Breathe is really about being present and listening for the guidance and the inspiration that spirit offers you. This is a 29, which is an 11. And I love looking at 11s because 11s is really about a spiritual awakening. You are awakening to the fact that you want change. I know you want change, Scorpio. You want to become a better version of who you are, but you don't know how to do it. And what spirit is really telling you here is that in order for you to create a new foundation for yourself, you need to learn to take a step back. You need to learn to breathe. And you need to really learn and allow yourself to delve into the unknown with this high priestess. Breathing is about meditating. It is about taking a step back and allowing yourself to just sort of be grateful for where you are. You must first learn to be grateful for where you are. Because if you can't be grateful for where you are, then you won't be able to learn to be grateful for who you become. So that is the message I have for you, Scorpio. I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that there were bits and pieces of this that absolutely resonated with you. And I look forward to seeing you next month with your new message. Namaste, guys.